Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're like me and you're juggling a small business from home while also trying to manage the rest of your life with all of your interests and your spouses or friends and family and just find that you don't have the time for it all, you are not alone. Today I'm sharing the exact tools, habits, and mindset shifts that help me stay productive all day long without burning out. This is the behind the scenes stuff that I wish someone had shown me when I first started. The first thing that I want to talk about are the tools that I use, and that includes a list of digital tools as well as some physical tools. One of my favorite digital tools that I use is a software called OneNote, and this is included in your Microsoft suite. So if you have that, then you probably have OneNote along with Microsoft Word and Excel and PowerPoint. It's all included in the suite. And this is basically a very quick and easy to use notes software. I use this daily because it's a very quick and easy way to organize all of the things that I want to quickly jot down. It also puts all of the information that I use all the time every day that I refer to often in a place where I can quickly find it and see it and use it. So it absolutely helps me stay organized, and thus I'm able to do my work so much faster. I'm pretty sure you can also create calendars in OneNote, but when it comes to calendar stuff, I really like using the calendar that is available in Apple or Mac iOS software already. It is connected to all of my devices. So if I put in an appointment or an event or a deadline, I get notifications if I want to on my phone and on my watch. A big digital tool that I recommend every small business owner use is Canva, and not just Canva, Canva Pro specifically, because if you go to the Pro version, you unlock all of the fonts and graphics and basically all of the amazing features that Canva offers. It's stuff that really helps my labels out, not just in the elements that I use, some of the fonts that I use, but also there's templates that you can use that are very modern, are visually appealing, and you can use those as inspiration for when designing your own labels. So if you are going back and forth on that membership, seeing whether or not it's worth it, I pay it every month and I think it's worth every penny. My next digital tool is a tool that I don't think a lot of business owners think about, and that is a tool that helps with the education, the ongoing learning that comes with being a small business owner. And Skillshare is a huge contributor to that, who, by the way, is the sponsor of today's video. Skillshare is an education platform for classes on all sorts of things like using software and applications, how to build specific skills, and how to use those skills to create and perform tasks that are so useful for creative professionals and small business owners. This is an education platform for classes on all sorts of things. I've taken quite a few Skillshare classes, but the one class that stands out to me is the Productivity Masterclass by Ali Abdal. As a small business owner, there is so much freedom that comes with that, which can be a blessing and a curse. Time management and how to be productive with my time is something that does not come naturally to me. I am such a huge procrastinator, and that's not great because being productive is an integral skill that every small business owner should at least work on so that they're able to run their businesses smoothly and efficiently. And with what I do specifically, I juggle so many things, from making and selling my soap, from making these YouTube videos, from supporting and guiding my patrons on Patreon. And on top of that, all of my non-work stuff as well, my hobbies and interests, all of that stuff, they're all important. And I can't just dedicate all of my time to work because that is the number one thing that leads to burnout. All these classes not only helped me to understand the myths and principles of productivity, but also provided some amazing tips on how I can use this understanding to reframe my schedule so that I'm using my time more wisely and efficiently. One tip that really resonated with me was how to start, develop, and build healthy habits. As my business has grown and I've found myself making bigger and bigger batches of soap, and not just soap, all of my other products, I've been working with heavier and heavier materials, larger quantities of raw materials, and I was finding that I was leaving the workday with a really sore back. And I realized that my strength needed some attention, so I decided to join a gym. And the gym that I joined offers lift classes that I was able to attend 2 to 3 times a week. These classes are all in the morning, so it really helps me get up in the day, gets me moving, and most importantly, helps me build my strength so that I'm not injuring myself when I'm trying to lift these heavy things. These classes are all on the same day and at the same time, so including them in my calendar helped ground my schedule, and I was able to plan other things around it. I have that habit ingrained in me now, but in the beginning it was so hard to motivate myself to actually get this habit going. But it was through all these Skillshare class that I was able to find the time in my busy schedule to fit this habit into my life. I also take classes that show me how to do specific things in my business. I have taken Skillshare classes for photography to take better product photos, photo editing classes so that those photos look amazing on my website, and even graphic design classes so that I can design all my own labels from home. For example, this class by Kyle Aaron Parson taught me how to use tools in Adobe Illustrator to customize fonts so that I can design labels with a unique and branded look. What I really like about Skillshare's lessons is that they come with resources like worksheets that you can download and follow as the teacher is doing their lesson. So you're not just watching somebody do it, but you're following along and doing the skill that they're describing on the screen. You're doing it yourself in real time, and it really hones in that skill. So if you are curious about these amazing classes and want to level up your small business like I feel Skillshare has done for me, then you're in luck. The first 500 people to use my link in the description or scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. In addition to those digital tools that keep me productive and are essential for helping me run my business efficiently, I also have a bunch of physical tools that I use as well. And one of them is checklists and agendas. I live my life by them. I use a combo of both a daily task list agenda for the day and also agendas that help me see the week and plan for it and the month and subsequent months that come down the line. In addition to my checklists and my agendas, I also use a whiteboard where I write down all of the tasks that I need to do in that week and in that day, the products that I need to make pretty much. And having that on a whiteboard on a wall serves as a really great reminder that I'm able to look up at and say, okay, I need to still do that. Because when it comes to me, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And it's not just about the tools. There are some principles and mindsets and ideas and concepts that are not natural to people that if you start thinking more and more along those lines, it will really help you become more productive. The first principle I want to talk about is the concept of done is better than perfect. I'm a perfectionist, so this one is really hard for me because I can really get hyper-focused on a specific label that I'm trying to get perfectly tweaked so that it completely follows my vision that I have in my head. And if I allow myself to get sucked into that, I can lose hours sometimes. And that is not productive. So what has helped with me is acceptance and thinking about the very necessary things that I need from that task. Have I actually completed the task? If the answer is yes, then I can move on. If I want to do extra things like play around with different fonts or try a different layout in the label, the second my mind starts going there, I look at my daily to-do list and I have to look at what hasn't been done yet. And when I see the things that haven't been done, that really helps me walk away from continuing to work on that label. The second principle is learning to batch your tasks. I like to plan out my week loosely so that I have a certain task for certain parts of the week. Like for example, I like to fulfill my packages and my orders earlier in the week because it helps clear my schedule and I'm able to plan for making product later on in that week. I also like to plan my fulfillment days around the same time that I go to the gym because since I'm out of the house, then I can just keep going to my local UPS and drop off packages at the same time on that same trip. I organize my cleaning in the same way too. Certain days have certain tasks. One of the things that has really helped me with cleaning is getting one of those cleaning agendas where it lists the rooms or the area of the house that you should specifically focus on for that specific day. And being able to compartmentalize the household cleaning chores in that way has helped me so much because before that, I would just get overwhelmed thinking about everything that needs to be done. And when I get like that, sometimes nothing gets done. Another important principle in helping you stay productive is learning about yourself and your energy curve. So for me, I have most of my energy in the afternoons versus the mornings. So when it comes to physically heavy tasks like making soap, I like to reserve that for later on in the day, and fulfilling packages also later on in the day. And then things that are more mentally tiring, I guess, where I'm seated, I like to have that earlier on in the day, like in the mornings. So the mornings are where I focus on clearing my inbox, for example. And also when I formulate my soap recipes or my other product recipes, I work on that in the morning. And the last helpful principle that I think will help you guys a lot is, even though you write that big task list, pick out 3 important things. Those 3 things are this must get done, so that when you find yourself running out of time, you can put all of those other things to the side and just focus on those 3 things. So now that I have talked all about that, let me walk you through a typical day in my life so that I can show you how I apply those tools and principles. Every day I start my morning with a coffee. I absolutely need coffee. There's something about holding that hot cup in your hand and sipping it while you're just thinking about the day ahead that's so soothing. And if I don't get this coffee, my day feels off. So that's a must. I also try to get something small to eat. I'm not a big breakfast eater, so I sometimes have a protein bar if I'm about to go to the gym, or I have a piece of toast with some peanut butter on it. After coffee and a quick bite, I will sit down and plan my day by reviewing my agendas and noting down all of the things that I need to do for that day. I pick out my 3 things and I visualize what that is going to look like and how I'm going to actually get those 3 things done, while also managing to fit in everything else on that list. And once that is done, I go over to my computer and I clear out my inbox. While I answer my emails, sometimes new to-do things will pop up, so I'll update the to-do list or I'll update my agenda. I'll be reminded of commitments that are coming up, so I'll update my calendar. So that's why I like to start with the inbox, because it helps me plan out the rest of the day, the rest of the week, and the rest of the month. And by the time that's done, that's when I'll do some of my brain work, like my formulating. I like to work on soap recipes, soap formulas, and bath bomb formulas in the beginning of the day. I also like to do some small admin things, organizing. So by midday, my inbox is cleared up, my formulas are formulated, and I have a better picture of what the rest of the day is going to look like and what I need to get done. But it's important around this time that I get something else to eat, and sometimes I'm hungry during this time and sometimes I'm not. So depending on my hunger level, it will be a small or big meal, but I don't force myself to eat if I'm not hungry, because I usually am the hungriest at dinner time, but my lunch is usually pretty quick. I like to have a tea, I like to have water, I always like to hydrate. I try not to make the break too long. It is so tempting during this break to go on social media because you're eating, and sometimes when I eat, I like to be looking at something at the same time, so that's when my mind goes to my phone. But resist the urge, because social media is one of those things that can turn a 10-minute break into a 20, 30-hour long break because you're just doom scrolling. So resist the urge to go to any social media platforms in the first half of your day. Push it as far as you possibly can. After I get something to eat, then I will go into my studio, look at the product making schedule that I have on that whiteboard, and then start prepping or making or doing whatever product making stuff I need to do for that day. And sometimes that studio time means cleaning up the studio from the night before. I'm not 100% perfect about keeping the studio tidy, but I try to stay on top of it. So that's the time to do it. And as I'm making the product, I like to capture the making of it using my cell phone for shorts. I like to use shorts as a way to sell the product. So this is a version of batching your tasks. I know that when it comes to being a business owner, selling the product can be a struggle for a lot of us. So if you're making the product, just whip out your phone, set it up, and hit record, because these are the things that your customers want to see from handmade soap companies, is you actually hand making the product. So it could be a time lapse of you making it if you want to. Just set up the phone and have it going. If it's really hard for you, make it as easy as possible. Don't make it too complicated, because a lot of the times the simplest shorts are the ones that go the most viral. And once all of that is done, I clean up the studio as best that I can. And then I go back into the rest of my home and I try to clean my home as best as I can. In the late afternoon, that is where I do a lot of my Shopify stuff, all of my e-commerce stuff, everything that has to do with getting product out the door to the customer. And by the end of the day, hopefully I've gotten those 3 things done that I set out to do in the beginning of the day. And in doing that, I'm able to plan for the following day. This is the schedule that I strive for. I'm not perfect. There are days where I don't get anything done because that's how it is sometimes. Life happens and things fall to the wayside, but it's important that you keep this framework in place so that you're able to have those rest days. That's important too. If you feel like you just can't, then the fact that you've been able to be productive during these other days will really free up your mind to allow yourself a rest day when you're just not feeling it. But life can definitely get chaotic, which is why having these principles in place is so important. It keeps you grounded, it helps you stay productive, and it also helps you look forward to the following days and weeks ahead so that if you do take that rest, you're doing it intentionally, knowing what's coming, and you're not just sticking your head in the sand and hoping everything just works out. So that is it. I have been getting so many requests from my patrons and also my YouTube subscribers to do more videos on small business stuff. So I really hope that you like this video. Let me know in the comments whether or not you did. And if you did, please leave a like. And if this was helpful to you, don't hesitate to share it with another small business friend who might be feeling overwhelmed and feeling unaccomplished and they're not sure how to get stuff done, because I know it can feel so overwhelming, especially when you're running a small business by yourself. And if you guys have any productivity hacks or tips, leave them down below because those can definitely help other people watching this video. And if you want to see more behind the scenes stuff on how I run my small soap business, then don't forget to subscribe. And I'd love to see more of you, so please join me in the next video. And until that next video, keep smiling, keep being awesome, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.